we have to be honest when we look at the current situation in South Africa. You guys are from the media, you are journalists, you are generally well informed. So the issue of land grabs shouldn't be new news to you, and it's not something that we can deny. AfriForum's 177 neighborhood and farmwide structures countrywide are on the front lines when it comes to facing illegal land invasions regularly. And we have to be very clear that these are not spontaneous acts of desperation, as you would very well know. Land grabs are fueled on, orchestrated and motivated by politicians on ground level and higher up who profit from this lawlessness. It's even gotten a name locally, a name that you should be familiar with, something called shack farming, who benefits nobody but those with political connections. The ANC has over the years created a climate where illegal land grabs are seen as acceptable by some. Their councillors have been linked to selling land that does not belong to them, exploiting vulnerable communities for personal and political gain. When property owners seek assistance during land grabs, AfriForum has often seen firsthand how the South African Police Service refuses to take action, in many cases even refusing to open a criminal case, which can only bring us to one conclusion, and that is that there is political interference at play. Examples of recent large-scale land grabs include Olivier-Bosch, Burgersfort, Bloemfontein, and if you want to see the consequences of land grabs when no action is taken, you can just drive down the road, go and have a look at Wolfspruit and Plastic View. Thousands of people crammed into one piece of land which does not belong to them, with no services, terrible hygienic conditions, and increasing crime rates. That is the climate that the South African government, under leadership of the ANC, has created in this country, a climate of lawlessness. The recent signing of the Expropriation Bill, or let me put it more accurately, I'm going to call it what it is. The Property Theft Bill was not only dangerous and reckless, it was done with the aim of once again enriching cadres and ANC politicians. Already we're seeing the consequences. Just this past weekend in Seshego, land invaders illegally occupied privately owned land. And it was reported by the South African Broadcasting Corporation, the state-owned broadcaster, and if you guys are here today, welcome. But it was reported on the state-owned broadcaster that these invaders said they did it because they felt empowered by the signing of this new bill. Is that the precedent that we want to create in this country, where people can simply go and take what they want to? I still believe that the majority of the citizens in this country are law-abiding, honest, and good people, and they don't want to see lawlessness increase in the way that politically connected cadres are trying to push it through. But let's be clear, it's not just land invasions. The ANC-led government is no stranger to illegal and dubious expropriation. We can take the Ackerland farm case, where fraudulent land claim led to expropriation, forcing the rightful owners into a costly court battle after property ownership was changed. This has happened. After a very expensive court battle, the courts ultimately ruled in favor of the owners, finding the land claim was fraudulent. And the Register of Deeds was forced to rechange the title deed back to the original owner's name. That's what happened in that case. Not like some media houses are claiming that nothing happened, they sold it off. They did sell it after that. Wouldn't you sell it if you were politically targeted constantly by high-ranking and well-connected political officials who wanted your property? Besides, who has millions lying around to fight court cases, to fight against the state? The state who's fighting you from your own pocket, but they're paying with taxpayer money. Does that sound just and right to you? Another example is Plaaswerf Beleggings. And this is not a farm. This is a commercial property owner in Heidelberg who was renting their property to the local Department of Health as a mortuary. The Department of Health then went and simply stopped paying the rent. So the property owners went, they did everything by the book, they followed the legal route, they got an eviction order, and they served it on the department for not paying rent. What did the Gauteng government do? 2 months after this eviction order was served, they simply expropriated the property without offering 1 cent in compensation. Does that sound fair and just? Now, this court case is still ongoing, but it's a glaring warning and an indication of the government's agenda and their intentions. Why on earth would you want to give them more power if this is their track record? These examples of the expropriation that has taken place, the land grabs, the political climate, are not isolated incidents. They expose a clear pattern of a government determined to seize private property without offering a cent in compensation. And AfriForum will not stand idly by while the rights of citizens of this country are trampled. This fight is far from over, and we urge every moral, law-abiding citizen who cares about the future of this country to stand with us and to fight against corrupt politicians further enriching themselves at the expense of the people of this country. Thank you.